Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Universe. I am Aaron St. Dennis. Follow me everywhere at FF Mad Scientist. Joined today by Jesse Moeller at JMoeller05 and Jeremy Schulman at FF_Rebel. We are here with Week 6 Fantasy Football. Some must-start and must-sit players from each NFC home game matchup. I'm not sure. It's Week 6. Part of me feels like, how did we get to week 6 so quick? And part of me is like, oh my fucking God, we're only at week 6. Like, I feel like just yesterday we were doing our rookie profiles, and now it's like, holy shit, week 6, what the hell? But at the same time, it's like, is this season ever going to end? Fucking tight end, man. It sucks the life out of you like an ex-wife. Fucking tight ends. That's all I got to say. How are you guys doing, though, on that lovely note?
A lot better than the tight ends, that's for sure. I can tell you that much. Doing pretty good. I'm looking forward to this game. Obviously, I'm a Seahawks fan, so I'm very excited to see it. So, yes, getting pumped already as we're going to take down the Niners, as Jeremy was saying.
Yeah, a lot better than the San Francisco 49ers are doing, a lot better than the New York Jets are doing. But hey, like you said, it's only week 6. The drama is high. So let's get into it and, go Seahawks.
That is where we will start off. Let me write our little fancy timestamp down. San Fran at Seattle. Let's hope everything's right on these graphics for a freaking change. I did my best, guys. We have Brock Purdy, 21st best matchup, and Geno Smith, 18th best matchup. I know those are right. You know how I know it? Because it took me 15 times to get these graphics right. So I know the first one. I can tell you by heart what Brock Purdy's fucking matchup is because I've replaced it 19 times on these graphics. So, middle of the pack matchup for both of these guys. Like I said, I typically only factor in if it's top 5 or 6 or bottom 5 or 6. This is middle of the pack here. Bringing up my quarterback rankings. I feel like I've probably got them both top 12. I've got Purdy at 10. I've got Geno down at 16, but that's going to change. I think it's early in the week. I think Geno's going to find himself up top 12-ish by the time I'm done. What do you guys think?
Did you see the line for this game? It's 49 points. This game is expected to be like a monster of a game for both teams on offense because, like, realistically, this is the worst 49ers defense we've seen in the past, 5 years. It's not that good. Seahawks defense has had injuries in the last couple of weeks. Their defense is looking very susceptible. So, yeah, I have them both top 12. I have Geno at 11 and I have Purdy at 12. But I can go back and forth with both those guys. I like the matchup and how they're going to dictate the terms on this game. So, yeah, both of those guys should get there this week.
I love it. I can't with Geno. He's only my QB 15. Like you said, San Francisco has been more susceptible on defense, but you can run on this defense. And I think this is a KW3 get right game. Walker is going to go off here, I think. Both running backs, I think, go off. But I still have Brock Purdy at 10. It feels maybe a little bit high because I like the Seahawks to win this one. But, yeah, Purdy at 10 and Geno at 15 right now.
All right. Running backs here. We've got Jordan Mason, Isaac Guerrero, 14th best matchup. Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet, 19th best on the other side. So once again, middle of the pack matchups here. I'm sure I've got me top 12 running backs. Jordan Mason at 2 and Ken Walker down at 14. So I've got some adjusting here. I don't know. Maybe I just naturally hate these Thursday nighters because they're either the greatest game we've ever seen like last week or they're 4 weeks of unwatchable horse shit. So maybe I've just learned to temper my Thursday night expectations, but I feel like I need to boost Geno and Walker up. You know what? Maybe as I look at it, I think maybe I've got some past San Francisco defense bias in here. So I'm docking the Seattle offense a little more than I should because San Fran's defense hasn't been as good as it was in the past. So maybe I need to start moving these Seahawks up. But what do you guys have for the running backs?
Yeah, I actually have Walker 2 spots ahead of Jordan Mason because Jordan Mason's snap share and scripts are kind of trending the wrong direction. Started out like 85%. He was only at like 60-something% last week because they're not in these game scripts where they're consistently winning. Now they are favored by 3.5 points. That could happen this year. In this game. But on the flip side, like Ken Walker is getting all of the utilization that we want. So Ken Walker is a certified like mid-range RB1 week in and week out from here on out. So yeah, I'm fully aboard the Ken Walker train.
Yep. Same. He's my RB8, but Jordan Mason, my RB2. I can't quit him. Not against this Seattle defense that is just putrid. They're doing their best, but they're just, every single week it looks like they're losing another guy. I think they still have Brooks or whoever they're rolling out at linebacker for the time being. But yeah, it's tough seeing there on the Seattle defense. But we love this for fantasy football, right? So yeah, Mason at 2, KW3 at 8, but we can fire both of these guys up for sure. RB1s.
You're gonna make me change your name again with the I can't quit him every week. Every week I gotta change your name. No.
But I'll tell you this: I've never seen that movie. So who's the gay one now?
We went there. All righty.
And we're canceled.
And thank you, everyone.
It was a good run, boys.
It's been fun. This was our last show. Take care, everyone. We will see you. We'll be coming back with mustaches and costumes and with aliases under a new show tomorrow once we've been canceled. See, that's funny though.
For that one.
But this goes to show you that this is the fantasy football in general is all about playing the percentages and the most likely outcome. Because if you would ask me who the most likely of us to get us canceled would be, the odds-on favorite was me, but somehow it's you.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Betting favorite.
Sometimes it goes like that. And listen, it's been good. Appreciate everyone. We'll see you next time or never.
Yeah. All right, wide receivers in this one. Low end matchup for both. 23rd best for the Niners, Ayuk, Debo, Juwan Jennings. 22nd best for the Seahawks, Metcalf, JSN, and Lockett. I feel like there's probably 6 receivers in this game who are at least flexible. I guess I should take Nico out of my lineup here or my rankings. I have DK the highest at 8, Ayuk at 12, Debo at 16, JSN 25, and then it's Juwan Jennings at 35. And where's Lockett? Lockett is my lowest out of 6 at 47. So that should tell you how much firepower there is in this one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with you. The 49ers, or the matchup for the Seahawks is really good in the slot. 49ers are giving up like the 14th most points there compared to out wide. So it's a little bit better for JSN this week than I think DK. And on the flip side, the 49ers are going to win on the outside because the Seahawks outside corners are getting torched. So I think this is more of a Brandon Ayuk week and more of a JSN week. But yeah, I still have DK Metcalf like top 16, which might be a little too low on him. Debo is at like 18. Ayuk's top 12 for me, and JSN is like 24. And then Lockett and Jennings are both like 38, 40 range. Like I like both of them.
I won't quit DK Metcalf. It's never happening. He's my wide receiver 8. He's a top 12 wide receiver this season. It continues. He's just too good. He's too dominant. He's too physical in the red zone. Big time. So he's 8 and Ayuk is 9. We saw it last week. It's going to happen. I don't think he got in the end zone last week. He will get in the end zone this week. That's going to be awesome. But yeah, fire up every single one. I got Debo. So those guys are our wide receiver 1s. I got Debo as a wide receiver 2. I got JSN a little lower at wide receiver 30, but I love me some JSN. So I'm happy to be wrong. And I'm also happy to move him up. Fire everyone up in this matchup. Let's go.
Tight ends, 13th best matchup for Kittle, 23rd best for Noah Fant. Kittle is my tight end 4 on the week. Noah Fant down at 17. I guess he's streamable. Kittle is a must start. Any variance of opinion on that?
No, like just put Kittle in your lineups. Every week Kittle plays. He's too good, man. I still think he's the best overall tight end in the NFL, and he's showing that. So yeah, George Kittle's eternal.
Yep, tight end 1 this week. Gonna crush. Let's go.
Next up, we will go to, this is another London game, I believe, correct?
Yes.
It is Jaguars at Chicago Bears. Quarterbacks here. We have the best and worst matchups pretty much. Second worst for Trevor Lawrence. Best for Caleb Williams. I can tell you as someone who's written several sit-start player to target type articles in the last 24 hours, start every goddamn Bear you roster.
I saw that
fucking matchups. I literally, my sit start, I do my matchup article that comes out tomorrow, and I have a must start or a start of the week at each position. Of my 4 must starts, 3 of them are Bears. and the only one who's not is a tight end. So my must start in this is Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore. Start your fucking Bears. What do you think about the quarterbacks?
This is what we want for Caleb Williams coming off a really good matchup. I have him inside my top 12. He's quarterback 12. I'm riding with Caleb Williams against the Jacksonville defense, which just really struggled. Lawrence, it's just a terrible matchup. We've seen Jacksonville's defense. We've seen Chicago's defense. They're one of the best in the NFL. It's going to be really difficult. He's going to need someone like BTJ to really step up this week because, I don't think he's going to be able to do it on his own. So Lawrence is like quarterback 20 for me. He's fine. You could play him, but I would more or less like to avoid him.
Yep. Same. You can run on this Bears defense, which we'll talk about in a second, because you cannot throw on them. So you pretty much have to run on them. Trevor Lawrence, I'm debating between him and Deshaun Watson this week. So he's down bad in this matchup. It's a rough one. Caleb Williams, on the other hand, he had a really good matchup last week. He's got 2 or 3 more matchups that are great right in a row. So he's going to keep rolling and keep progressing before it gets tougher for him in the second half of the season. So keep rolling him out there. He is QB9 for me this week.
Love it.
Running backs, 10th best matchup for the Jags, 6th best for the Bears. So we've got ETN, Bigsby, Roschon, DeAndre Swift. I guess we have Khalil Herbert in there. I feel like Swift may actually be my highest. Swift is my highest at 12. I think it's probably ETN next. It is ETN at 19. That's scary as hell. Roschon at 29. Bigsby, I need to move way up unless I've missed him here. Did I miss Bigsby here? Anyways, Bigsby is somewhere in the RB2 range. I don't know. I guess I just haven't moved him up yet. He needs to be moved up. What do you guys think here?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear about ETN and how involved he's going to be this week because he's still dealing with that shoulder injury, so it's TBD. If Bigsby does start, he's going to be pushing top 15 for me. I'm just waiting to see how this plays out. So they're both in the late 20s. But yeah, you're firing up DeAndre Swift.
Everybody.
So this is the thing with DeAndre Swift. It would not surprise me if it burns because he's DeAndre Swift and he has issues. But the last couple of weeks, his usage has been out of control. I'm riding with it because he's just really using the pass game. So yeah, DeAndre Swift, he's a must start this week. And then if you want to fire up Roschon on the flex, you can definitely do it if you expect some late touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is for Roschon, right? We've seen him get in the end zone. I believe it's 3 over the last 2 games. He's going to do it again. He's going to score at least once here. DeAndre Swift, I love both of these Bears running backs. I love both of these Jags running backs in this matchup because they're going to have to use them with Christian Kirk and Brian Thomas Jr. Kirk will be blanketed. Thomas Jr. might get loose once or twice there. But I don't know what we're doing here with Evan Ingram. I'm not sure what the reports are. The reports were kind of positive last week, then he didn't play. So it's possible he's close. It doesn't matter. It's the running backs here. And I am ridiculously high on Tank, assuming ETN's going to play. I got Tank right now as my RB18.
Nice. Love it. Are you confidently playing him if ETN does play?
Yes. I'm assuming ETN is playing at the moment.
Yep. Sweet.
Wide receivers, 26th best matchup for the Jags, best matchup for the Bears. We got Christian Kirk, BTJ, Gabe Davis on the Jags, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. I feel like my highest rank's going to be BTJ, but I think by the time I'm done. No, it's not. DJ Moore is wide receiver 4 for me. So just saying. And then I have BTJ at 19. It's 19. So what do you guys have?
Yeah, this is the problem with this matchup in particular. Outside wide receivers, I am not looking forward to this matchup because the Bears just simply squash it. It's really hard to pass on them. So BTJ moves into my wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 range this week. I love the talent. I just hate the matchup, and I really don't want to play him. So if I can avoid playing him this week, I will do that. But he's just on such a hot streak and he's playing so well, you can throw him out there. I totally get it. I would rather play Keenan Allen or Rome Odunze over if I had the option to play the 2. I have Rome Odunze there. Keenan Allen still dealing with the injuries and stuff. He hasn't been fully healthy. So I'm more bullish on Rome. And then, you could do Christian Kirk if you really want to, but he's wide receiver 35 for me. I'm not super bullish on him either.
I have BTJ rest of the season, Rome in Dynasty.
Yeah, I would go. I think it's BTJ all around. He's proven it right now. I mean, Caleb will progress. This offense will progress. Keenan will leave. But rest of season, yeah, I'm going BTJ. He's just too necessary. Yeah. He's been too dominant. It doesn't matter. This is going to be a huge proving ground for him this week against this Bears secondary. We'll see how they'll try to put the clamps on him, and we'll see what he's able to put up. But yeah, I'm with you, Jesse. I have him ranked a lot lower. Christian Kirk, I don't even care where he's ranked. Just try and start somebody else. The only one you're firing up here is Brian Thomas. On the other side, DJ Moore is my wide receiver 2 on the week. We saw him do it last week in a revenge game against Carolina. The matchup's even better somehow against Jacksonville. So yeah, firing up DJ Moore, and then Rome is RB3 if you need, or wide receiver 3 if you need him.
Yeah, I would have him higher. The matchups are so good for the high-end wide receivers this week. Like the top 10 guys are just like, oh my God, I want to play all of them.
Yeah.
Tight ends, bad matchup for both. 25th best for the Jags, 17th best for the Bears. Evan Engram, don't know if he's going to play, or Brenton Strange. Either way, I guess you sub Brenton Strange in. And Cole Kmet. I feel like none of these guys are in my top 12, but they're probably all stream worthy. I have Kmet at 10. And I have both the Jags guys down in the low teens because I'm not sure what's going on here. I have Strange at 20. I have Engram at 18, but I don't really think Engram's going to play here. What are your thoughts?
I'm treating Strange basically similar to Evan Engram. He's been pretty productive when he's played for him. So if he does play another week, he's going to be borderline top 12 tight end just because, like, this is what we talk about tight ends. It's just not good overall. Once you get past, like, the top 8, it's like you're firing darts. Like, you're starting Cole Kmet, and he's dealing with a lot of the target competition, those guys of the world. I think Komet's a good tight end, but overall, yeah. Engram right now, I need to see him TBD on those guys. One of them will be like top 14 for me. I just don't know who it's going to be because of the Engram injury, so I'm just waiting to hear.
Yep. I'm with you on Engram. I would love to play him. Not necessarily love to play him in this matchup, but I would just love to play him this season. Like, let's go, Evan Engram. Please come back. But yeah, in this matchup, I want Cole Kmet over Engram. Yep. Cole Kmet is my tight end 5. Like, the things I'm considering are, do I want to play Brock Bowers against a really tough Pittsburgh defense, or Cole Kmet? Do I want to play Kyle Pitts, even though he's got Carolina, or Cole Kmet? And I keep coming out with Cole Kmet. Now, maybe he ends up 6 or 7 as we progress through the week. Laporta, Freiermuth, both have really good matchups who are below him at the moment. But Kmet has been doing it, and he's doing it on limited targets. So if he gets the targets in this one, if they funnel them to him, yeah.
London game, yeah, jet lag. The defense is going to be jet lagged. They already sucked. So I don't know. I'm still firing up all the Bears here. Pick up Schultz, Steelers D or Eagles D. I know Schultz should have the opportunity. I think the Steelers and Eagles D might actually outproduce a tight end. So I go.
Like, if you're looking for a tight end, I'm fine with Schultz because, like, you're down a wide receiver and Xavier Hutchinson is nothing. So, like, Schultz will get more looks. Like, I'm fine treating him in this Cole Kmet range of players. Like, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I don't mind Schultz. I'm playing the Steelers D over the Eagles. Yeah, yes, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's move to our next game. Back to the normal slate of games. That would be Tampa Bay at New Orleans. 28th best matchup for Baker. Second best matchup for Derek Carr or Jake Hayner or Spencer Rattler or whoever the hell the Saints are sending out here. Baker is sitting at QB 13 for me. Derek Carr is actually at 17. That's kind of scary. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know who's starting for the Saints, so it's really difficult. And this is going to get into issues with the wide receivers that they have this week. Is like, if it's Hayner, man, I'm going to have a hard time trusting like Shaheed and Olave. So those guys both are getting pushed down at the moment. Yeah, he's my quarterback 15, and I'm fine with Baker this week. It's not a great matchup, but like, I think the issues is the Saints really aren't going to be able to do much with Jake Hayner on offense, and that's really going to like hold up the Bucs offense. So that's kind of my worry with Baker this week.
Yep. I have Baker at 17. It's only because of the matchup. He's been playing really well. But we saw in what should have been a big game for him last week, he threw the touchdowns, but only 180 yards through the air. So we know that's possible. These running backs, because there's 2 of them, they run the ball a lot in Tampa. So that's kind of my concern here. And yeah, if the Saints can't do anything, and if Taysom's not back, it's going to be a disaster for the Saints on offense. So, you know, who thought we'd be saying that? But this, in the year of our Lord 2024, Taysom Hill necessary once again.
Top 5 defenses this week for me. Bears against the Jags is 1. Steelers against Raiders 2. Broncos Chargers 3. Eagles against the Browns is 4. And Texans against the Patriots is 5. Anybody have someone I missed?
You said Steelers?
Yeah.
That was 2, I believe.
And how about the Broncos?
That was 3.
Yeah.
You didn't
So I
listen
just
to a
did top
word
five.
I just said, did you?
No, I just have them all in different order. But yeah, that's the top 5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Where were we? Oh, running backs. 21st best matchup for Rashad White and Bucky Irving. 13th best for Alvin Kamara. I'm sure Kamara is my highest ranked here by a million miles. Kamara at 6. Moving down, Bucky at 26, Rashad at 27. How do you guys have it?
Yeah, we've kind of seen the shift over time a little bit. Rashad's still getting passing down work, but Bucky's getting like the high value touches around the goal line and stuff of that nature. They're basically the RB2 flex range running backs. Yeah, Kamara's usage is out of control and he's massively exceeding his usage. I know he struggled last week. I expect him to bounce back. He's my running back 3 this week. Like I'm all aboard the Kamara train.
Yep. I had him at 3, but I had to move him down. So he's running back 7. You're still starting him. I just think the production will be a bit less because the passing game will struggle. That said, he's going to see a gabillion targets out of the backfield. So, Kamara is necessary. And then, between these two guys, White, Irving, you can start them both, but they're flex at this point.
I like the Bears because the Jags are not very good, and the Bears are damn near impossible to pass on. I guess they could get beat by Tank Bigsby, but Travis Etienne hasn't been doing shit, and you're not going to beat him through the air.
That Bears secondary has been shut down lights out this season, and their talent has always been there, and they're just all seem to be coming into their own this season. Kyler Gordon in the nickel is also really nice, kind of in the slot there. So it's just they're phenomenal in the secondary. So you can't pass on these guys.
Yeah, the thing with the Texans is like they're top 8 in pressure rate, but they're just not fully living up to the expectations we have. They're still giving up fantasy points, so that's kind of thing. I think this week they could do it. Like you get Drake May first start against just a god awful offensive line. I don't even know the names of their offensive linemen they have anymore. Like I couldn't tell you who they are. So it should be a fun game for them.
Yeah, and it's Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson against that line. I mean, yeah, the Texans are going to eat. They'll probably rack up the sacks, but you have to know that Drake May assumes this is coming. He's seen what Brissett has dealt with. They're going to try and figure something out. Will it work? I don't know, but I have a little more confidence that will work than whatever the hell Doug Peterson is doing in Jacksonville against that secondary of the Bears.
Scrambling, man. Yeah.
Receivers, 16th best matchup for the Bucs, 7th best for the Saints. So we've got Evans, Godwin, McMillan against Olave, Shaheed, and nobody else really. I guess A.T. Perry. I think it's a Buck ranked highest for me. It is. It's Evans at 10, Godwin at 15. Olave will be next. Oh, sorry, Olave was at 16. And then I have Shaheed somewhere down in the 34, but that seems low. I think I'm going to move him up a bit. What do we think here? Mike Evans going to have his usual shit the bed against the Saints, or?
Yep.
I mean, they're been worse against outside wide receivers, so I have Evans higher this week. But yeah, like he always has the matchup issues. Like this is the team that they're throwing hands. Like I would not be surprised Mike Evans to get heated again. But yeah, I have Mike Evans top 12. I have Chris Godwin mid-range wide receiver 2. I have Shaheed above Olave. Like Shaheed's just been better across the board. Like he has more targets. He has a higher air yard share. Finally pushed him above Olave, so we'll see how that goes. And if Derek Carr comes back, which we don't expect to do, but if he does, I'm going to shoot these guys way high. But right now, it's like wide receiver 20, wide receiver 26.
Yeah, and listen, Paulson Adebo and Alante Taylor for the Saints have been awesome this season, but if Marshawn Lattimore does not shadow Mike Evans, that's going to be a hard disappointment. I expect him to turn it on for this game and for him to like elevate his game as he always does against Mike Evans. That's a shadow. I'm fading Evans to wide receiver 20. I'm not doing it this week except as like a low end wide receiver 2. Chris Godwin, I had to temper expectations, but he's still a wide receiver 12 for me this week. So, but he was my wide receiver 1 last week. It didn't happen though. He didn't get in the end zone. So yeah, I like these Bucs receivers. On the other end, Olave is a no. Shaheed is a maybe, but they're borderline flex options without Derek Carr.
Rattler, 50-50, I think. I don't know. I still think it's Derek Carr this week.
We have no idea. I will just say that.
I don't think it's happening.
And that's the problem. I don't want to trust wide receivers with that.
James Conner or Garrett Wilson or T. Higgins. So Connor's got the Packers. Wilson has
Buffalo.
T. Higgins has the Giants. I think I like Wilson against the Bills.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm going Connor, but I don't mind Garrett Wilson either. Like I would go those two guys above T Higgins. Is how I'd have that ranked.
Yeah, T. I really like T this week. He's my wide receiver 19. I think he showed it last week. The Giants are able to cover one guy. They're going to choose to cover Jamar Chase. Will Jamar Chase still go off? Yes, but they're going to be covering. So T. Higgins will get the lax coverage this week. So I think he's a wide receiver too. You fire him up. All of that said, James Conner, RB9, even against Green Bay, who has been just average. Go James Conner.
Fire him up, yeah.
Tight ends, 11th best matchup for Cade Otton, 22nd for Juwan Johnson. I have Otton at 11, Juwan Johnson I have down at 22. I guess he's not the worst streamer. He seems to be useful. But the problem is they seem to be splitting targets between Johnson and Foster Moreau. So
yeah, it's not great. Like I'm much like I know I've like followed Auden, the guy that just runs all the routes. He's finally starting to earn a little bit of targets, but it's been kind of hit or miss. He's been okay. Johnson's kind of coming along, but like to Jeremy's point, like with Taysom Hill, this offense is just different. So without Taysom Hill, it takes a hit. So as fun as we thought the Juwan Johnson experience was going to be, it's just not. He's my tight end 20. It's fine.
Yeah. Question is Cade Otton or Mike Gesicki this week? Cade Otton or Mark Andrews, who has returned this week? It's tough. They're outside the top 12. Otton is 15 for me at the moment. I could see pushing him down a little bit. No.
all right, let's move on to Arizona at Green Bay. 19th best matchup for Kyler, 7th best for Jordan Love. I have Love at 3, Kyler at 4. What do you guys have?
Yeah, I have Love above Kyler this week. I think they're going to be able to kind of dictate against the Cardinals defense a little bit easier than Kyler. And we've seen it like the second half, the Cardinals have struggled. Like they've started out really hot. Second half of games, his passer rating's like 75. Like it's night and day with them. They need to figure it out for a full game. I think with this Packers offense, like they can keep it going all day against this Cardinals secondary and defense. So I have Love in a home game. Like he's really high. He's number 5. Kyler's 8, but like you're still fired up, Kyler.
Yeah, you have to play Kyler, unfortunately, after that one. Right now, he's my QB 5. He might move down a spot or 2. Jared Goff against Dallas is in a good spot. I have Goff below him at the moment. That might need to switch. Jordan Love, my QB 2. I love Love. I love all the time. Jordan Love, we do it. We love it. I can't put him above Lamar this week, but it's Jordan Love. Start him up.
Running backs, 17th best matchup for Arizona, 8th for Green Bay. Connor, Trey Benson for the Cardinals, Josh Jacobs, and I guess Emmanuel Wilson for the Packers. I'm not sure who I have ranked highest. I have Connor at 11. Oh, no, I don't. I have Josh Jacobs at 5, Connor at 11. Yeah. So it's Jacobs for me. What do you guys have?
Yep, same. I think I have Jacobs at 7. I have Connor at 10. I really like Connor's role. It's a little bit better than Jacobs, but like Jacobs has the dream matchup, so we're just rolling with him. I expect in this type of game script, they'll be able to lean on Jacobs a little bit more than in past games. So I think Jacobs will get 20 plus touches. He'll get in the end though. Like he'll be a guy you're happy to start.
Yep. 4 and 9, Jacobs and Connor. So we're all in lockstep here. Josh, we saw Arizona kind of put the clamps down last week on San Francisco. Now we're in Lambeau. Josh Jacobs is going to run Green Bay is going to just absolutely destroy this defense. You're going to wonder what the heck last week was all about. That said, I think Arizona keeps up too. So I like both of these guys.
Wide receivers, 8th best matchup for the Cards, 18th best matchup for Green Bay. Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson on one side with Greg Dortch. Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson on the other. It's going to be tough, I think. I don't know if I have MHJ or Reed higher here. I have Reed at 7, Harrison Jr. at 11. What do you guys have?
Yeah, I have basically the same rankings. It's just impossible to fade Reed at this point. He's playing out of his mind. Like his role is not the best in the NFL, but it's still good enough where he can get you there consistently, high-end wide receiver ones. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., like they need to figure that out a little bit more because he's not getting the target share we're hoping. Maybe this is the week for him because he's got the dream matchup. And then I'm going back to the well with Dontavian Wicks. Everything was there. He just missed. He's still a top 20-ish wide receiver for me this week. So I'm happily firing him up. I will say if Christian Watson is back, it does make you a little bit nervous just because he kind of gets into that rotation a little bit more. But I'm treating it as Dontavian Wicks is a clear 2. I'm just going from there.
Yeah. Weeks where Jaden Reed scores a touchdown, he goes nuclear. Weeks where he doesn't and Love plays, he's fine. So you kind of assume he's going to score a touchdown because he probably will in matchups like this that are easy. Jaden Reed is a monster. You fire him up. He's a wide receiver 1, my number 7. Marvin Harrison, I can't get him out of the top 12, but we'll have to see. It's kind of this odd even. He's awesome. He's mediocre week to week. So MHJ, you just ride that lightning and you fire him up weekly. I like Michael Wilson as a flex here, but Dontavian Wicks, you have to ride him again, like you were saying, Jesse. Just keep going back to the well. Like Jesse said with Wicks, do not fret. He's going to put up points.
Tight ends, 8th best matchup for McBride, 16th for Tucker Kraft. McBride is my 2. Kraft is my 7. That feels low. Maybe I should move him up. What are your thoughts? Never thought I'd say those words.
Yeah, it's low.
Kraft's legit. I do think I've heard a lot of talk about Kraft being like a high-end tight end one. I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit on that because there are ways where he does not fully get there, but he's still a top 7 tight end. I have him at tight end 6. I really like him, but the talk around him has me a little bit worried. I think we're like putting the cart in front of the horse. So I want to see a little bit more of Kraft. Yeah, McBride, he's my tight end 1. It's a really good matchup. The difference is Kittle's still dealing with the injury. McBride's not. So I'm just playing McBride's tight end 1. Kittle's 2.
Yeah, we saw it last week with Tucker Kraft. I mean, when the target share is condensed in this Green Bay offense, you just fire up everyone. Christian Watson, I would say he's not going to play. I don't know if that's official yet, but you can assume he's out. Romeo Doubs, Aaron said it the other day, he might come back and be awesome, learned his lesson sort of thing. It looks like it's trending in that direction. That said, I don't care. Tucker Kraft, I'm still going to give it to him. He is my tight end 4, but McBride is 2. You want both of these guys.
Next up, we have Cleveland Browns at Philadelphia Eagles. 11th best matchup for Watson, 25th best for Hurts. Hurts is my QB 3. Watson way down at 21. What do you guys have?
Yeah, it's rough with Watson. They're basically the worst offense we've seen in the past decade. With Deshaun Watson at the helm right now, it is abysmal. And as much as I like the opportunity for him to succeed, it's just really hard to trust it. I get it. It's a bad matchup for Jalen Hurts. I don't care. The guy produces fantasy points. He's still a top 3 quarterback. We saw this with Jaden Daniels. We were worried against the Cleveland defense. He still showed up and showed out. I expect Jalen Hurts to do the same thing.
Yeah, although I'm fading him this week, is just my QB9. We know he can do it on the ground, but through the air. AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, are they playing? Are they healthy? Are they 100% after the bye? All of these things are possible, but I'm not betting on it. So Hurts, I'm fading a little bit. You're still starting him. Deshaun Watson, what are we doing? Get him out of the game. Put him on the bench. Put the Ferrari back into the garage. Cover it with the tarp and leave it there forever until it rots. And you can finally sell it for far less value. He's done. Put in Jameis, put in DTR. I don't give a crap. This offense sucks with Deshaun Watson. It will be better with literally any other quarterback.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
All right. On that note, the running backs, 18th best matchup for the Browns, Jerome Ford and Deonta Foreman. 16th best for Saquon Barkley and Kenny Gainwell. Barkley's my 3. And my highest Brown would be Jerome Ford, way down at 25. What do you guys got?
Yep. Yeah, it's just rough. As much as we like Ford's role, Chubb is coming back at some point. So I would say now is the time if you can get out of Ford because it's coming along. Barkley, yeah, this matchup, I feel like they're going to trust Barkley a lot in this matchup, particularly with the wide receivers and the unknown. He's going to see a lot of work. He's a top 5 running back for me this week. You can entirely bet on it.
Yep, he's 6 for me. He's right there. You're firing him up. He's going to crush. Do not start a Browns running back. Don't do it.
What do we got here? Pierre Strong can be a better QB than Watson. Yeah, that's entirely possible. Can't run
Wildcat. Let's do it. Get somebody back there.
Wide receivers, 2nd best matchup for the Browns, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore. 11th best for AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and Jahan Dotson. AJ Brown is my highest at 6. Amari Cooper not too far behind at 14. Devonta Smith is in here somewhere. I can't find him. What do you guys have?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to need to pass a ton in this game, and so I think Jalen Hurts is more going to rush than he is going to get through the air. So I'm a little bit lower on both AJ Brown, Devonta Smith this week if they're fully healthy and playing. They are both outside my top 10, which is kind of crazy to say, but I still have AJ Brown the highest, and then Amari Cooper is hanging on to wide receiver 30 range, like he's holding there just because this is the dream matchup. He should get there. You just can't trust Watson. If you had a normal quarterback, I'd have a Cooper like pushing top 12 this week, but such is life. You have Amari Cooper, and then no other wide receiver. We're not touching a wide receiver on the Browns.
But if I had to ask you a question of which fan base is more insufferable, which do you think it would be? Because these two have to be the two worst fan bases in the NFL.
Eagles.
Eagles
are the worst.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like they're both insufferable, but you know what I'd love to do? I would love to just go and talk shit to them at their stadium. And you know how I could do that? I could use promo code FFUniverse over at SeatGeek, and I could go to Philly and tell them how much they suck and they shouldn't throw snowballs at Santa Claus.
And then you might want to run. They'll probably punch you.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be running when I say it, but fuck
them. Listen, I love it, but yeah, I hate it for Amari Cooper. He's down bad. He's still hanging on to wide receiver 2 status, but barely. Jerry Jeudy, you can't start in this matchup. You should be able to. You can't do it. You hope maybe he scores, but I'm not doing it. AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, they're lower this week if they play.
Yeah.
Josh Downs or Chase Brown? I feel like it's Downs, right?
Who's the quarterback? Let me know who the quarterback is for the Colts.
Okay, if it's Flacco, it's Josh Downs. If it's Richardson, it's Chase Brown.
If it's Chase Brown without, like, if it's an injured, like he has no competition, I'm playing Chase Brown. Like, that's a dream role in that offense. He's going to put up a ton of points. I just need to see it. So I don't know. It's kind of TBD on both of those guys, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yep. And what I will say about Josh Downs is even if it is Joe Flacco, you just have to be a little bit concerned with what's going on in Tennessee. They have a decent defense there. The secondary is okay, and they can move things around. It's pretty much all they've got going for them. But they play a little bit better than they should be, and they can rush the passer. So I'm a little down on Downs this week, but not too far. He's been awesome.
They are by far the worst defense. They shut down wide receivers. Like, it's a nightmare matchup to pass against them. So I really don't want to play any Colts wide receivers this week.
Yeah, and it's the slot right for Downs, so it's slightly different for him. L'Jarius Sneed is out of control on the outside. But yeah, that's slightly different for the slot receiver, but I agree.
Tight ends, fourth and sixth worst matchup for tight ends. Dallas Goedert is higher for me, and it's painful. He is my tight end 6. I have Njoku in the 13, 14, because I always worry that he's just never going to play. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he had a knee injury, and we have not heard anything on it. So I don't know how severe the knee injury is. I'm waiting to hear about Njoku because I just expect him to be out when I hear knee injury and unknown with him. That terrifies me. With Dallas Goedert, if the wide receivers are playing, you have to knock him down. If the wide receivers are not playing, you bump him up because he's like the entire passing game. So with Dallas Goedert right now, he's like top 10, just kind of hanging out there in that Cole Kmet range. Mm-hmm. I will bump him up if AJ Brown or Devonta Smith wins this game. And then Njoku, I'm just probably going to bench because I don't know what's going on with Njoku right now or the Cleveland Titans.
Yeah, and Akins, if Njoku sits, is just far too volatile. You'd like to play him in this matchup. I just don't think you can. Dallas Goedert, same thing. I'm at 11 right now. He will go up if those guys sit.
Deontay or Tank Dell? I don't love the matchup. I don't love the matchup against the Patriots, but there's nobody left in Houston.
I love Deontay, but I feel a lot better about Tank now that Nico's on IR, sadly. We'll pour one out for our boy Nico. Or to have I still have Deontay Johnson ranked incredibly high. I'll have to revisit Tank with the news of Nico on IR, but yeah, I'm gonna go Deontay.
I think I'm worried about that injury with Tank. He just doesn't look right now. So I have Diggs a lot higher than him. But yeah, you can definitely play him this week. Like I'm gonna definitely play him more.
And if you haven't seen, Matt Harmon had his show on Yahoo with Dalton Del Don, I think yesterday. He was talking about the whole reception perception thing. He says Tank looks completely different this season from last season. He was chalking it up to injury, be it the broken leg he's recovering from or the gunshot wounds he's recovering from or whatever it is. But he just says he's charting him this season looks completely different. I think we can give him a little bit of a pass for recovering from those injuries. That said, play Deontay.
Yeah, he's a buy low in Dynasty. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Second last game, we've got Atlanta at Carolina. Kirk Cousins, 6th best matchup. Andy Dalton, 15th best. I have Cousins at 11 and Andy Dalton lower at 19. What do you have?
Yeah, like I'm playing both of these guys this week. I don't fully trust the Falcons defense, so I'm fine rolling it back with Old Man Red Rifle there. He's my quarterback 17 at the moment. I have Kirk Cousins quarterback 11. Like they've been balling offensively with Kirk Cousins the past few weeks, and they have one of the highest pass rates in the NFL the past few weeks on top of that too. Obviously, the game versus the Bucs got out of hand, so they had to pass it 50 plus times. I don't expect that, but they'll pass it 36 plus. Like Cousins will get there for you.
Yep. I'm even higher on Cousins this week as my QB 8. I have him over Jalen Hurts. It's just the matchup. It's too juicy. We saw what Caleb Williams was able to do against this defense. Now just put an experienced quarterback who's getting healthier, who's getting a better feel for this offense, who's connecting with his weapons, who's using everyone in this offense except for Bijan Robinson. And so, Kirk Cousins is crushing. He will crush again. Andy Dalton, yeah, you need to temper expectations. You're not high on him after a down week last week. He's going to bounce back, but he's just my QB 16.
28th best matchup for Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders. Second best matchup for Tyler Algier and his backup Bijan Robinson. Where do you guys have these ones ranked?
You're not going to like where I have Bijan. I have it number 2. I have all aboard Bijan this week.
5.
The Carolina Panthers are the dream matchup, similar to what Breece Hall is doing with the Buffalo. Like both these guys are the ideal matchup. The Panthers just can't stop anybody. And
So
Bijan,
start Tyler Algier.
You could definitely get there with Tyler Algier in the second half of this game. That would not shock me as well. I don't know where I have Algier. I have to double check. But yeah, I'm all aboard that. Chuba Hubbard, like he's top 16 running back. Like he's good. He plays a good role. I like him a lot. As long as they can keep pace, he should score for you. And yeah, I have Algiers as a top 30. Like, and he's basically like I want both those guys in lineups.
Yeah, Algier sucks because he's good, right? He's a good running back, and he sucks for our Bijan shares. Bijan is still my RB5. Listen, it's not time to panic on Bijan Robinson yet. If he doesn't perform in this matchup, then it's time to panic on Bijan Robinson. The problem is everyone will be panicking on Bijan Robinson, so you're holding the bag. Listen, if you have him, you fire him up and you pray that he just finds the end zone. He could score multiple times. And Chuba, I'm playing him as well. Bijan's my 5. Chuba is 14.
Wide receivers, 10th best matchup for the Falcons, Drake London, Ray McLeod, and the surprisingly relevant Darnell Mooney. Panthers, 15th best matchup, Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette, Jonathan Mingo. Is it scary for me to look? I might have Darnell Mooney rated the high. Oh, no, I don't. I have London highest. I have London at 7, which I may need to have my head examined. Deontay at 24, Darnell at 25. What was that?
You're not gonna like where I have Drake London because he's living his best life in that Cooper Cup-esque role, and it is glorious for him. Ever since the start of the season, he's been balling out. He's incredible right now. He's wide receiver 5 for me. I have Darnell Mooney inside my top 24 wide receivers. I have Deontay Johnson well above that, splitting the difference between them. I think Deontay is like wide receiver 15, wide receiver 18, and that's probably too low. And then if you really want to fire a dart on Rare and Cobb, like I'm fine doing it in this matchup if you need flex to play. He can get you there as well. Legette's dealing with an injury. I don't know if Legette's going to play this week, so I'm TBD on the other Panthers wide receivers.
Yep. Deontay, absolutely wide receiver 2. Darnell Mooney, absolutely wide receiver 2. You guys are too low on Drake London. He is my wide receiver 1 this week. Let's go, Drake London. Look, these targets are going to be spread around. We know that, but Carolina is just hemorrhaging points to wide receiver. It's ridiculous. Drake London is going off in this one. Book it. Wide receiver 1 this week against Carolina.
Yeah. Hopefully people bought low on Drake London because he is shining bright.
Tight ends. We've got the 5th best matchup for Kyle Pitts, who's my tight end 3 on the week. 12th best matchup for Tommy Tremble. Who gives a shit? I
think he might be concussed as well. He had he took a rough shot last week. Knocked out on the field.
Oddly, that doesn't change my projection for him.
yeah, same. It's not even ranked.
He may have.
We wish him well. We wish him well.
Oh, yeah. Good. Too funny. Yeah.
Any thoughts on Kyle Pitts?
He's the 4th option in that passing attack. Like he needs games like this. Like if it's a game where it's a bad script and like it's a bad matchup, he's gonna be like borderline top 12. Right now, tight end position sucks. He's tight end 7 or 8 for me, and I don't like it at all. Like I have to force myself to do it. That's where I'm at with Pitts. Like he's still getting a 14% target rate. It's # not good, folks. Like that's what I'm trying to tell people.
6, tight end 6. You do it with Pitts. You don't do it with Trumbull at the end.
Can we I like this. Can we start to write really long, well-explained questions? I need it to be a little longer so it fully blocks out Jeremy on the screen, but thoughts
No,
here. I think it's a 1A, 1B situation where when you see them play teams like Kansas City and Chicago, and who am I missing who locks down a number one receiver? Denver, thank you. Where they have corners that are going to shadow him, I think it becomes Shaheed. But overall, I think it's still Olave. But it's more of a 1A, 1B than it is a 1 or a 2 for me.
Shaheed's just really,
Guess you can come back on the screen now.
And
Jeremy.
they're using the motion a lot for Shaheed, and he's basically the game breaker in that offense. Because I know Olave is fast, but Shaheed's a different animal in how he moves. So he's the guy that really sets up everything deep for them. And yeah, Olave gets the tougher matchups week in and week out. So he struggles a bit more, but he's a really good NFL wide receiver too. It's working for Shaheed right now. I have him. That's why I have him above Olave.
Yeah, but the trouble is, and we talked about it, this is what you miss, is Derek Carr probably not going to play. He's got an oblique, so even if he does play, he's not going to be ripping it downfield to Shaheed, right? So that's really the issue. It's looking like a multi-week absence for Carr at the moment. So it doesn't appear to be Haener. It's probably going to be the rookie Rattler. That's the case.
No.
Can he get it to Shaheed? He can, but he's going to have to put it in a good catchable place. And that's really the concern with these targets. But the last 2 games, Shaheed has 11 and 9 targets, and he's turning them into fantasy points. He's been crushing all season. Yeah. I mean, without Derek Carr, Shaheed might be the one.
Yeah. Shaheed has a 26% target share and a top 2 air yard share. His usage is out of control. He's been really good. That's why they're close for me.
Carr has an air yard share, 4-yard average depth of target.
Dude,
and you're telling me an oblique injury is concerning because he won't be able to. I piss further downfield than Carr can throw. I'd like to throw that out.
Carr's got one of the best 8 outs in the league.
No, a 12
it doesn't make sense.
That means they're targets. It doesn't mean they're completed passes. It just means he fucking chucks it out.
He's chucking.
Aaron, don't sell yourself short. A 12-foot piss is impressive, man.
Hey, you gotta really go. You know what I'm saying?
Last game, Lions Cowboys. 14th best matchup for Goff, 9th for Dak. I'm sure I have Dak ranked higher because Goff's just kind of been average. Dak at 14, Goff at 15. I'm not really big on either of these guys this week. This is one of these games where it looks like it should be a shootout, and it'll probably end up being 10-7.
Could be.
It's the highest projected over-under of the week, 52 points. So fire up your bags, boys. We're riding with the Cowboys and Lions.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were so low in consensus rankings. I was looking at that and I was like, man, we're too low on these guys. Both Goff and Dak need to be well inside the top 12. I'm debating Goff and Josh Allen at the moment, just because of the matchup for Josh Allen. Goff's basically quarterback 8, Dak is quarterback 5. I'm firing them up. I get it. I know the offense has struggled, but they're going to have to keep pace with the Lions offense, and they're going to have a hard time doing that. So they're going to rely on Dak. So I'm all aboard.
Yep. I've got Goff over Dak this week, 5 and 7. I'm incredibly high on them. I think you play everyone except for Ezekiel Elliott in this matchup.
Oh, man.
Running backs, top 5 matchup for Gibbs and Montgomery. 5th worst matchup for Dowdle and Elliott. I have it Monty at 5, Gibbs at 8. I'm sure I have Dowdle in the 30s, 35. Fuck, who cares about Zeke? What do you guys have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I have Monty over Gibbs.
Yeah. I don't. I have Gibbs as top 5. Monte's the RB1 though. I like Monte a lot this week. He's an RB11. And then of the running backs, Dowdle's the clear guy if you're playing any. He's a top 30 running back. I think he can get there. We saw it last week. He got there with touchdowns and stuff like that. His usage. I expect him to score again this week against the Lions defense. I know it's a bad matchup against the Lions, but the points and the opportunity to go on are going to be there, and that's where I expect Dowdle to get there. So he's still top 30 running back for me.
Yep. You do not debate the Lions running backs. You fire them both up. Gibbs at 3, Montgomery at 13. The debate here is Dowdle. How high do you have him? I have him as an RB2. He's my RB22 on the week. I can't get him a lot higher because Detroit is so good against the run, but Dowdle show that he can get it done in the passing game. So we know that the Cowboys will pass at will in this game. I think some of that goes to Dowdle, and he is still able to eat. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm trying to see where he is at the moment. He is RB 51. I am putting him last of 66 running backs right now. He is my RB 66. If it's possible to score negative points, I think he will in this game. Do not start Zeke. I've dropped him in a couple of leagues.
Fire up the third Lions running back, whoever that is, over Zeke, I would say.
Deuce Vaughn or Zeke this week.
Deuce
Vaughn.
Drop both. Just drop both.
Yeah, but you got to play one.
Yeah.
I don't. I have Dowdle at 35. I'm not playing any of them.
22, baby. 22.
I'll pass.
Split the difference.
Wide receivers, 25th best matchup for the Lions, St. Brown, Jameson, and Khalif Raymond. 4th best matchup for the Cowboys, Lamb, Tolbert, Turpin. Basically Turpin if you have kick return yards. CeeDee Lamb's my 1. St. Brown is my 3. What do you guys have the rest of it?
Yeah, it's not the best matchup against for Amon-Ra versus slot, but I don't really care. He's too good. And yeah, by the way, the Lions give up the most slot points in the league. CeeDee Lamb's going to feast there. So CeeDee Lamb is wide receiver 1. I'm going to 4. You can fire up JMO. You could do it with Jalen Tolbert. I have JMO. Where do I actually have JMO? He is pushing top 20. I think he's 23. Yep. Tolbert is mid-range wide receiver 3. So he's 34 for me. And yeah, those are kind of the only guys I want to play. I don't really want to do Turpin. I don't want to do Khalif Raymond. But if you want to trust the touchdown and one of the highest scripts, I get it. I understand the thought process.
Yep. CeeDee Lamb, I'm too low on him this week. He's only my wide receiver 3. I get it. He's going to eat. You fire him up. He's going to crush. Jalen Tolbert, you probably have him too low. He's a flex. I don't know I didn't hear where you guys have him. But he is going to be my wide receiver 32 this week. Jalen Tolbert is a must flex until Brandon Cooks comes back, especially in matchups where they need to pass the ball, which is most matchups for Dallas. So you fire him up in the flex, especially on bye weeks. Amon-Ra, yeah, amazing. Jameson Williams, wide receiver 15 this week.
Let's close it out with tight ends. I have 20th best matchup for Laporta. He's my 5. 24th best matchup for Ferguson. He's my 2. What do you guys have?
Yeah, Ferguson has the best tight end role in the NFL right now. So if you cannot fade him, I don't care about the matchup. You have to play him. They're both top 5 tight ends this week. Laporta's good, man. Is what it is.
Yeah, I'm fading Laporta slightly. He's only my tight end 7. I just think that the wide receivers get home a little bit, and Dallas has still shown a small ability to cover the tight ends here. So, yeah, Laporta, his production has suffered at the hands of the rise of Jameson Williams and David Montgomery just being a weekly RB1 at this point.
All right, that's a wrap on the NFC side of the Week 6 slate. Check back tomorrow at noon for the AFC side. We've got Colts at Titans, Texans at Patriots, Commanders at Ravens, Chargers at Broncos, Steelers at Raiders, Bengals at Giants, and the Monday Nighter Bills at Jets. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you again tomorrow.